Hello, everybody. I just thought I'd do a pop up. I was going to do some dancing, so we might still do some dancing. I don't know. But I've got a dishwasher to load. My sink is full. And so I said, let's see. The lawnmower guy was here and he just left. So I said, I had it scheduled for later because I thought he'd be still here, but he's gone. So I scheduled it for a little bit earlier. Here I am, and we're going to have some fun. I got about an hour, probably about 2 hours before I have to leave again. I'm going off with my neighbor. She wants to go to Costco, and I have a Costco card. And I haven't been to Costco in I don't know when. So my card may not be any good anymore. If not, I'll fix it and get it good. So I don't go enough, but if she wants to start going, it's worth me getting it. Hey, Danny. Danny, you still my mod? It's not showing you as a mod. I think you should be. I don't know. If not, anyway, but I'm just gonna. And I wouldn't recommend my dishwasher that I got for anyone. It's a little bitty one right here. Either I'm not doing it right when I turn it on. Hey, sweet, or something. I don't know if I'm not setting the settings right because they don't wash it right, and I have a hard time getting in it sometimes. But that's a me problem because I don't have it put low enough. Anyway, welcome. But I'm gonna be turning on the sink here and washing a few of these dishes and getting them in the dishwasher. So yes, welcome, sweets. Oh, what did I do? I hit the wrong button. So anyway, but welcome everybody. How was your day, Danny and Sweet? Where are you from, Sweet? You look new. Glad to have new folks show up or new folks with new names. So you gotta figure out and get the water hot. I think one of the workers in my house fixed the problem too without telling me, which is a good thing. The water in my bathroom gets so hot now quick, but it takes it a while from the kitchen to the bathroom because the water heater's under the bathroom area. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Operator malfunction. Somewhere down here is one of my scrubbers. So, oh well, maybe others will show up. Who knows? But my neighbor wants to go Costco and get they're called burnt ends. I think it's pork. I don't know. Could be. I don't know if pork or beef, but she said they were fantastic. So my thing is, when I buy meat in the grocery store and it has already stuff on it, it bothers my stomach. So I'd rather get, say, beef ends or pork ends and do my own marinade and stuff on them. Because I know what I'm putting on it. Also, a lot of the frozen meats you get have preservatives on it. I don't know why they just can't freeze a piece of meat by itself. You know, no added water, no added iodine, salt, sodium, phosphate, all that stuff. You know, why can't they just add the meat by itself? I would love to do, if anybody's watching, I would love to do one of those subscriptions to the food thing. If it is no preservatives on the meat or the vegetables, if they're just regular vegetables and meat, I wouldn't mind trying it because it's just me, you know. I wouldn't mind trying it. What about y'all? Y'all ever did that? Any of those food boxes that come in the, some of the grocery stores now have food boxes. They prepare a meal and you just go get it. And I've seen that. I think our Kroger did it for a while, but I don't know if they're doing it anymore. Oh, I thought somebody was knocking on the door. No, it's Candy. She's over here thinking. Hey, Ashley, you get food from the food bank. Yeah. Do you get cooked food from the food bank? Because I can go to a food bank too, even though I have the money to buy my groceries. Every once in a while I'll pull in and get it, something, and I was sharing it with my neighbor. And she was sharing it. She was giving it to one of her friends that really needed it. But now they're in a nursing place, and so they don't need the food. You get cooked food. Huh. Now around Georgia, there are not, well, there are food banks, but if they give out meat and stuff, they have to be under a different license. And they have to be, if they give out cooked food, they have to be under a different license. So, yeah, but I've been wanting to try. I tried HelloFresh. I couldn't eat it. It was not bad food. It's just that it had preservatives in it, and I was in the bathroom the next day, so I don't want to go with HelloFresh again. So I guess I'm just going to do some research. If there's any food services with no preservatives on their food. I'm not talking organic. I'm talking about when they add the extra stuff you don't need. If it's not just a piece of meat frozen and salt and pepper after it's frozen put on it, I don't want it. And I don't want, I can't have fresh garlic, but I can have powdered garlic. So there may be a place where you can custom your own meals. I don't know. I'm gonna check into that. Can you make custom delivery meals? That would be interesting to find out. Not here in Kentucky. Well, here in Georgia, our church is doing it this Saturday, and I don't know if I'm going or not. I usually go help them out, but they're giving away, but it's never any meat because they have to be under different categories. So, yeah, but I need to figure that out myself. Did you get your insurance today? Do you have your senior citizen discount card? Oh, I want another trip today. That's all these phone calls are. I signed up for a trip, to win a trip. And all I want to do is be in it in the contest. But then they take it upon themselves to continue calling when I tell them no one week, and the next week they call back again. And It just, it ain't fun. Y'all get those kind of phone calls? I even get the phony phone calls from Publishers Clearinghouse. Legally Publishers Clearinghouse, they don't call you. They just somehow show up at your door with the cheese. So I guess they kind of watch. I don't know. They know when you're at home. I don't do Publishers Clearinghouse. I don't think they're cheap. I think they're phony baloney. They called me the other day saying I had won Publishers Clearinghouse. I said, thank you. You can give it to somebody who needs it. You don't want $25,000? I said, if it was real, yeah, I'd take $25,000. The Publishers Clearinghouse don't call you. Because it doesn't say Publishers Clearinghouse when they call. So, anyway. Trying to figure out how to unload this today. It'll be clean. I'm going to cut that water off and just scrub them and turn it on in a minute. It's too much noise. I don't wash my dishes before I put them in the dishwasher. But if I've got stuck on food, I do scrape that off and get majority of it off because this dishwasher ain't going to clean it off. This dishwasher ain't going to clean that eggs off. So I got to do it myself before I put it in the dishwasher. That was oven. What did I make? It was eggs I cooked in the oven. Eggs with bacon. Bacon and cheese in the oven after I pre-cooked the bacon and then put it in my little toaster. Ain't a toaster, air fryer oven over there. Looks like it's a toaster air fryer oven combination. But I forgot to put the butter at the bottom of it and it kind of stuck. But that's okay. I'll unstick in it. I guess Scotty J's at work. I set that aside and put it in the dishwasher in a few minutes because I got to empty the eggs in the sink or in the garbage. But my last time I did my dishwasher, I had to do it again because the tablet came out but did not melt. And so I don't know what I did wrong. I couldn't tell you. But we may be dancing in a minute because I'm close to being through dishes because I got to really scrub some of them off camera. Make a lot of noise. There's about 3. And the dishes came out with, you could tell the last time, they came out with white spots on it like it was soap. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. So I don't know what I'm going to do this time, how I'm going to wash them. If I'm just going to throw the tablet in there and let it go. Or put it in the dispenser and see what happens. So, and tomorrow my electrician comes back. The guy who cuts my grass, brother's electrician. So they team up quite a bit to do projects. And I said, hallelujah. He even showed me his license. And I said, yay, I finally found somebody. And the backyard looks so nice. I'm not used to it yet because I'm used to looking out and seeing across the fence that's opened, and I could see the backyard of a couple of neighbors. Now I can't see any backyards. So I'm so glad that that's done. And Candy's getting used to going back in the backyard again. I had a hard time the first day it was finished. Day before yesterday. She's like, I ain't going back there. I'd rather go back out in the front yard. I said, you're not going out running by the mailbox. So she just went to sit down. By an hour and a half later, she's like, I gotta go. She went to the back door. I said, I knew if you really had to go, you'd go to the back door. But that's dogs, Well, she got used to it since my husband died and the fence broke. Fence had a hole in it about 6 months after he died. The gate fell off about 6 months after he died. And she was going out through the hole and through the gate into the front yard. I said, I might as well just let her in the front yard, so. And now she can't get out. No more running in the road. Candy's 12. She'll be 13 on the 5th of September, and I want her to, however long God lets her live, I want her to, to be around longer. I don't want it to be an accident, die. I always want her to wake up one day in God's arms, Like, my life is over. I'm ready to go home. And I can see her now, She's going home. Her mama's there. Her mama dog lived with us. Was born, well, we've got the mama dog, and Candy was born here at the house. Anyway. Oh, well, no one's watching. I don't care. Have a great day. I don't care. Let's dance. Dance, dance, let's dance. Let's rock and roll and shake our body dance. Everybody do the jerk. Jerk, 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 jerk. Everybody do the twist. We're gonna twist and shout. Everybody sing. We don't need any music. We need the beat of our own drum. And that's what we're going to do for the next 5 minutes or so. Because I've got to do some other things around the house. I got to pay the lawnmower man. I was supposed to pay him before I got online, but I didn't. So then I got a friend trying to call me on Discord. I'll get back with him later. We hadn't talked in over a month. So let's shake it out. Let's shake it out. Shake, shake, shake it out. We could do jumping jacks, but no, I can't. They hurt. So we're just going to sit here and move to the beat of our own drum. Well, I could turn on someone singing right now on TikTok. She's a beautiful voice. His name is Nathan. He's from Portuguese. Beautiful American-speaking Portuguese guy. He's probably in his 20s. Late 20s. I don't know. He could be younger, but then I'd get copyright. Hey, whoever's watching in here. So we're just going to sit here and do our own thing without any music. I'm going to move my body because I got to keep going down. And my weight is getting up. I got to get it down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Let's do a little swim, swim, swim. We're going to the beach on a sunny day. And then it started to pour. You had to run to get away from the rain. You kept running till you found the candy shop. Went in and had candy. I said, oh Lord, now I gotta run off the candy. And I left making up songs and doing silly things. So if you're here and taking a picture, I don't give a turkey worky. La 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 la. But welcome whoever's hiding and lurking. Some are probably working. If you're working and lurking, hit the thumbs up. You can do that. Your boss doesn't know you're, thumbsing me up. Share me out. Share me out. Pump me up. Share me out and pump it up. Did I not send out the invite link? Whoops! I forgot! Let's see if I can share the invite link out. Who wants to come? Copy. I thought I shared the invite link out. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. We're going to find out if I did or didn't. We're going to put it here. We're going to put it there. We're going to put it everywhere. We're going to shake. Shake. We're going to whoop it up. Who's here? Who's not? Who wants to be invited? Who's gone? Who's lost? I don't know. I'm just goofing. I'll be back to y'all in 1 second. Somehow I opened up another page that I didn't want to open up. Okay. Now I gotta find me again. There we are. Hey, Vanessa. It's my friend. One day I'm gonna go visit her. She's in Africa, I think. Johannesburg area, if I'm not mistaken. So one day, my dream is to go visit more YouTubers with a meet and greet somewhere. So, yeah. Yeah, one day I'm gonna plan a trip one day that takes me to the real place, a place I want to go, with stopover maybe, or maybe Johannesburg is my place I want to go. Because if I've got to layover somewhere in a town, state, or country I've never been, I'll stay a couple, look that place over a couple days and get on a plane and go on to my destination. I know a friend that does that. He'll have a destination and he'll make it where there's a 6 or 7, 8 hour layover, and he'll go see something around the airport, or or place he wanted to go and come back. So one of these days, my bucket list is going to grow. Mm-hmm. On my bucket list next year is Paris, or this year actually. But the guy who's doing it has not announced he's announced the month he's doing it. He's doing it in June 2026. But he has not announced the days and times when he's going and how much it's going to cost yet. So that's what I want, to check on. That's one of my bucket lists. And then my other bucket list is Tokyo, Japan. I want to go to Japan, to go to Disney there and play in the arcades. I'm not an arcade channel, but if I had an arcade near me that was huge, like they are in Japan, you can go into some tiny ones in Japan, and you can go into Tokyo. Yeah, you can go into some big ones, and Singapore, I've got two, excuse me, I've got two actor friends, couple that live in Singapore, and they've invited me out there. But the problem is, their condo they live in, it's a one bedroom condo, and they're they can't have anyone stay. They can have visitors, but they can't have overnight visitors. I don't think. If she told me right, so getting a hotel's no problem. But they said they would show me around, and I want to go to Universal, but they're not Universal people. I'm not a real big um, ride person at parks, but I want to. If I'm going over there, I want to see things that are different than our stuff. They got a town over there. I don't know the name of it. I don't know if it's Senjutsu. I'm not even pronouncing it right. But anyway, you can go feed the wild deer that come up. You can buy wild deer food. They're called cookies. And gotta be careful because those deer will take them out of your pocket. If you got any in there, they'll try to get them out. You gotta be careful. So one guy gave them all away. And this deer kept coming up, but the guy had some left in his pocket, and that deer knew it. He was just trying to walk away to feed someone else somewhere else. Another deer, a little bit further over. But no, this deer said, "No, you're giving them to me." Uh, Interesting, different, interesting. So let's keep them moving. Let's keep moving. Are you moving at your place? Let's keep them moving. Let's keep moving, 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 moving. I pray that my neighbor's daughter went to get her driver's license today, and I pray they were able to get them. They put them off 2 times, and they had to come back. So I hope she got her driver's license. And we're going out to Costco. She wants to go to Costco, and she doesn't have a card, and I do. So we're going to go to Costco. I told her she can drive us to Costco, and I'll pick up something for dinner there. I do have a sweet potato. I didn't cook it. I got it yesterday at the restaurant. I got a sweet potato, baked potato, and enough meat for a barbecue sandwich. But I made that barbecue sandwich meat enough for yesterday's dinner, and this morning I ate it on a sandwich, half a sandwich with what was left over. And so I've got the sweet potato I'm going to warm up later, and I don't know what meat I'm going to have with it, so I may have to pick up some kind of meat or something to go with it. I don't know what would go good with a sweet potato. And they give you this, I didn't use it. I'm going to throw it away because I forgot to put it up. But it's a mixture of brown sugar and cinnamon. And I don't like that. I barely like sweet potatoes, So I'm going to throw that away. I just like a plain butter sweet potato. It took me up until about 2 years ago before I really decided to try them. I like them fried. It's French fries. They're fantastic. But I don't want any sugar on those either. Some people put powdered sugar on them. I want them plain. So, yep, I want them plain. Well, have a good night, Vanessa. We're gonna rock, we're gonna rock, we're gonna rock, 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 we're gonna rock, we're gonna rock, we're gonna rock, 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 rock. Ooh, rockin'. Ha ha ha, rockin'. Can you do the twist? Can you shake your body? Can you do the twist? It goes like this. Wanna shake, 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 shake. May have to change my shirt before I go. Oh, may not move. Well, come on. Do it out loud. Do it in the morning, do it at night. Do it right. shake, 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 shake. I gotta get the weight off, yes indeed. Bum, 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 bum. But I do know I'm still down a little bit, but I'm still down about 5 pounds, so I ain't bad at all. I just don't want to get that big face again. I was looking at pictures from back to in 22, and my face was so big and swollen looking. But some of that could have been before I had my Herner surgery, however you pronounce it. I had a Herner. Anyway, I had one of those things in your stomach. I can't pronounce it. So that could have been from that making me gain, have some weight. Welcome to the world. Welcome, one and all. We're gonna march it, march it, march it, march it out. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum. Ah. Yes, 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 yes. Ah. All right, let's get back to the dancing. Dancing, romancing. Finding a fella, finding a fella. But if I've got anyone watching, is there a coach watching that would like to help me lose the weight from my house? Because I'm not going out. Or is anyone from Disney watching? I'm going to Disney in a couple of weeks. I'll be on a vacation there. Going on a Disney cruise. So I'd like to get some sponsorship by anyone, you know. Welcome, my friends, to the one and only show. Welcome, my friends, today. I'm gonna dance and move my little body. I'm only 4'9", but I'm big everywhere else. Shake your leg. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody that's come in. If it's my friend Vanessa, welcome back. Someone keeps coming in and going out, so someone was either working and lurking or having computer problems, or they don't like my content and they're leaving. So I don't care. You're welcome if you're here. Welcome if you're not. Welcome all those that watch it and the replay. But I'm just doing some movements to get me a little bit of movement going, because this body's got to get skinny. Oh, I said years ago, when I was going to take off Pound Sensibly group, someone said, "Oh, you need to be down to your wedding weight." I wore a size medium. I'm not ashamed to say I was 125 pounds, but I'll be good if I get down to 140, 150 pounds. I'll be happy with that. I don't want to be something I was. I'm trying to be a new me, but I don't want to be that skinny. My doctor told me I should weigh 95 pounds. That doctor now is no longer a doctor. He's retired. He has Parkinson's, I think. I think it's Parkinson's he's got. But his son was a doctor, and his son and others work in that building now. So I see one of the other guys now. I wasn't saying his son, but his son passed me on to a lady. The lady left. And so now I've been seeing an African American guy, I think. And so which I don't really care, you know. But his father told me I needed to be 95 pounds. Well, not his father. No, my baby doctor did. But yeah, both of them kind of agreed I should be 95 pounds. That's what it was. But I told the gynecologist, I said, I can't even remember his name now, but I said, when you lose the weight, I'll lose the weight. Because he was probably a 6X in men's. Probably 4 to 6, 5, 6X. 5 to 6, you know, he was a big man. He lost it. He had gastro bypass. uh, anyway, I'm going to be working here until my neighbor calls me. And then I need to check my Discord. A friend, I think, was calling me back. He called me before the show or texted me, and I said, hey, how are you? I said, let me call him. Well, he didn't answer. I said, and then he texted. Before I called him, he had texted and said, I got a new laptop. And I said, oh. Now, so let me call you and see what you got. He didn't answer. So we're going to dance. We're going to shake. We're going to shake, 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 shake. How about let's do the swim? Let's do the swim. Swim, 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 swim. Hello, everybody. We're going to play the bongos. We're going to play the bongos. Bong, 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 bongos. We're going to do the bongos. Bang, bong, bong, bongos. Do them up high. Do them down low. Do them in the sky. And over your head. Bong, 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 bong. Hi, I know there's 2 people working. Welcome in, workers. One of them may be my friend Scotty. I don't know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I've got the happiness giggle. Hey, Susie Q. Want to come up? You can. I don't know. I can put let's paste it in here. If anybody I don't want wants to come up, they won't come up because I won't let them. I'm just sitting back here. I just semi-loaded the dishwasher. I got a few more dishes to go, but it was making too much noise, and I didn't put on the music today. But I'm just sitting here swaying and, you know, doing the twist and doing the swim just on my own and while I'm talking because it's moving. Then later I'm going to Costco. My neighbor wants to go to Costco. She doesn't have a card, and I do. And I hadn't been to Costco probably since around Christmas or right after. It's just one of those places that I don't need a bunch of food for me, but I wanted to get the card for a reason the first time, and I don't remember why. And then when the next year came around, I was going to cancel it, and that would ruin my credit. She said if I cancel it because it's a / Costco credit card that you use at Costco. I said, well, I don't really need it. So she took me down. I had $13 on their Costco card that that you get annually, or you get so much. This year I've only got $2. And so she took that $13 and put it on the credit card and said that was good enough. I said, okay. But I didn't go but twice. So, but my neighbor wants to go, and I want to go and look at I want to see if I can find me a solid color, not a navy blue, but darker than this blue shirt. And I want it short where it's about like, you can't see, but I want midriff, but not midriff, because I want to crochet around the bottom and around the sleeves and make my own, but I want a solid color top. So I'm hoping they have something, because I can crochet around that in a day. I mean, a different top. I crocheted around a top last week, and I got it packed in my suitcase to go on my Disney trip. And it's got a green Mickey Mouse here, and it's a white solid shirt with a green Mickey Mouse embroidered on it. And so I took my white fuzzy yarn I had, and I did around the sleeves and did around the sleeves because the sleeves were too short and it was showing my big arms. And I said, let me see. So I had enough to do 2 sleeves, and it turned out pretty cool. It doesn't show my big arms now. So how are you, Miss Susie Q? Uh, anyway, I thought my friend would text me back. He may have, and I just hadn't seen it. We'll check. Nope, he didn't text me back. So I don't know what he wanted, except to tell me he got a new computer. Oh, anyway. Oh, my backyard's done, and Candy loves it. Not really. The first day it got done, I said, "You're going outside in the backyard," and she's like, I said, "Yes, you are. You're not going out in the front yard anymore." I said, "Let's go." She went back over to her chair and sat down because she wanted to go out. I knew because she couldn't the back door. I said, "No." So she went back and sat down. About an hour and a half later, she's coming running to me like, she had to go out again. And so I went to the back door, called her, and she come. And she went out, barely made it out the door. I said, "Yeah, she really had to go." So she put it off. So I'm not letting her out there anymore. So anyway, yeah. But I gotta pay my. I didn't pay him, so I gotta pay him now. But I'm gonna get back to moving in just 1 second. Because he dinged me. "Did you pay me yet?" And I said, "Oops." Okay, he got paid. I think. We'll see in a second. He got paid. Have the best day ever. Sorry, I'm not chatting. Are you having a bad day, Susie? Come on over here and we'll cheer you up. I've been having a mixed week. Wondering if I'm doing the right thing by putting this fence up. Yes, I think I did. Now Candy can't run out the road, but it's just change. Very much change. I can't see 2 houses down. I can't see across anymore because of the privacy fence, which I think is a good thing. But it's okay. Yeah, my neighbors uh, daughter went to get her driver's license today. This is the third time she didn't fail it either the other 2 times before. They get there and their appointment was canceled, and they had to go back today. And the first time when she did it, her mom checked it over and said, "You don't have an appointment." And so, yeah, I do, Mom. I did it. Well, she forgot to hit the last final button to make the appointment. They went back to do it, and they were all full. So yesterday they canceled on them, and so they had to reschedule for today. So, and her car's gone. She didn't come back yet. That was at 2:30 around there. I think she had an appointment, or 2:20, somewhere in there. But then when she gets back, we're going to Costco. Hello, everybody who's here. I'm hoping I can talk her into us getting something for dinner when we're out. There's a restaurant I've been wanting to try. So, I've been wanting to try. It's called Big Daddy's, and I heard it's great. And we got to go that direction, sort of that direction to get to it. Well, I don't know if we are or not. I'm thinking about it. But anyway, at Costco, there's only the Costco food, which some of it's pretty good. I can get a pretzel. They got good pretzels. And I got the sweet potato I'm going to eat later. But I don't want to, I've only had one meal today. And so, anyway. I'm not doing a heavy exercise today. Just a little bit of swinging and moving, and walking in place, swaying. But any kind of movement's better than no movement at all, I think. I'm glad my friends come here and encourage me. Ooh, I heard that pop. Did y'all hear it? Bumpadita, bumpadita, bumpadita. Bumpadita, bumpadita, bumpadita. La 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 li 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 li. La 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 li 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 li. Oop ah ah ah. Shakey, shakey, shake. Shakey, shakey, shake. Oh, so. Boom, boom, ba-dum, ba-da-dum. Boom, ba-dum. Boom, ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. As long as I'm moving a little bit, I'm not, it gets, even just moving what I'm doing is a little bit tiring. But I would have had to turn on my phone for Richard Simmons, and which I can do that because I don't get copyrighted. I think because we're talking while we're dancing, and he's talking while they're dancing, and so the music's loud, but not YouTube loud. So I'm gonna stay on about what time did I come on? I came on at 2:15. I'm gonna give it to 3 o'clock. I got to decide. I think I'm gonna have to change my top. I spilled something on me and it's wet from working at the counter and the dog hair, so I'm gonna change my top before I go. Don't know what time, she'll get back. Carrollton is about where they had to go is about 25 minutes from here. 30. But if I can help anybody feel better today, I did my job. If I want to just sit there and laugh at, because you might have had a crappy day because you stubbed your toe. Hey, I just want to come up, Foodie. I'm just uh, doing my own thing, no music, and it's talking and swaying. But if you're having a bad day, don't think you're going to keep having a bad day. Think brighter thoughts, happy thoughts. You got to turn yourself around. You can't be down in the dumps. Think about that next trip to the mailbox and hope you don't get any junk. You know? You're on the TV. Okay, you're watching me on the TV. But I decided I loaded 90% loaded my dishwasher. I got a few more things that got to be really scrubbed. And honest, this countertop dishwasher, it's okay. The last time I opened it up before this load, there was my tablet where it did not dissolve. And I've got, what do they call it? Finish. They used to be under another name, but I've got these regular tablets. They're called Finish. And I'm sure everybody's used them. And then I've got another kind of Finish that doesn't have a little ball in it. Some have the ball, and this one's the last one of the other kind. But these have a little ball in it, and it didn't dissolve. So I said, I don't know if I'm not doing the dishwasher right, but the little compartment don't want to close or open sometimes. You know, when I try to close it, I had to blam it down, slam it down. So I'm thinking this time I'll just put it in there without closing it and just let it, because you're using hot water. And once the tablet gets dissolved and it may be rinsed out after a few minutes, you had enough time in there to get them clean. Because this is not one of those dishwashers that take off the stuck on stuff. You got to scrub it off before you put it in there. So, but I love the countertop part. I love that it's on the counter. And it's good for, a lot of people who have campers are doing these, they're called sink dishwashers. I watch a couple, they're called Taking a Risk. She had one, they bought it, her husband installed it, and it sits in she's got this long sink, and it sits on half the sink, and the water comes in from underneath it. That's almost like a countertop. And it opens from the top, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I don't remember how it opens. I think from the top, because it sits in her sink. And that's where I got the idea and started looking. And these kind of dishwashers are tiny house people use them, camper people use them, RV people with campers and RVs. Then you make one that you can make, and but that's putting inside you can put it inside your cabinet drawer. Take the drawer, they, instead of a drawer, it's a dishwasher. They're called dish drawers. Now that would be nice if I could do something like that, but that's money I don't have right now. And my electrician came, the grass guy came. He called and I said, I heard something outside. Was that you? He said, yeah, I'm outside. So, and I said, I'll be right out there. And I go out there and he said, I'd like you to meet my brother. I don't remember what he said his brother's name was, but he said, my brother's the licensed electrician. Yeah. So the licensed electrician came in and he looked at a couple of spots, and then he looked at my fuse box, that's the new one that the old electrician didn't put in. Well, the old electrician, my fuse box out there is only 50 amp, whatever that means, 50 something. The one I got there that the old electrician brought is the 200. And he said he could use the 200. He just got to make sure that it's not going to blow fuses and not going to stop me from using my stuff, because this is a 1963 house. So they're coming back tomorrow. I told them they're going to call me first, but my nephew's coming down tomorrow, but he may not show up here until Sunday because his girlfriend's birthday was last week. And he's got dinner plans tomorrow night with his best friend in Carroll County, Georgia. And I said, well, y'all can sleep here. He said, no, I'm surprising her with it's a bed and breakfast, nice little place, in Carrollton, out in the country somewhere. And I said, okay. But then they're coming here Sunday and we're going to the Georgia Aquarium. I have been to the Georgia Aquarium probably since 2015. Probably 2012. No. My daughter graduated in 2001. Probably 2010 was the last time I've been to the Georgia Aquarium. Or might have even been a little bit younger than that. Around 2010, I want to say. My nephew lived with us, and my husband got tickets from work for free. They had an employee thing. You just had to sign up for them. But then when we left the aquarium, 2 days later, we were all sick with bronchitis. And we went to a famous restaurant here. It's called the Varsity. It's not a hole in the wall. It's a big old place. Hamburgers, hot dogs, onion rings. Jimmy Carter, our president, loved to go eat there. But the problem with that place now is it's too much grease, and you don't need a laxative. Just go eat at the Varsity. But he said we got sick from the Varsity. I said we didn't get sick from the Varsity. Their thing on the wall said 100. Their inspection code thing. So he said, yeah, we did. I said, no, Thomas, we got sick from the aquarium walking along and touching they have rails in front of the glass where the fish things are, tanks, aquarium is, so you won't be bumping into the, anyway. And I said, we got it from touching all the stuff at the aquarium. Hey, Norma, haven't seen you in a while. Talk to our other friend anymore? I hadn't talked to her in a long time. I don't even go to her channel anymore. The friend from Georgia. But I'm just trying to talk and get my movements in. I'm not doing fast movements. I don't know if you have to do fast movements to lose weight, or you can just sit here and walk in place. I think no matter if you do a little bit of movement, it's going to help you get some calories out. Yeah, after we had our falling out, I don't talk. I went to her channel one time, and now she's on Exercise Kick because she did the bypass thing. And I'm trying to lose some weight. I've lost some, but I got to lose more. I had lost up to 30 pounds when my husband died, and I gained some. I got some of it came back on. Are you still doing bingo? I don't go to bingos much anymore. I went to KK's went to her channel for a few minutes, and it was she wasn't. Camera was on, but she wasn't there. She was on a Be Right Back. They said. I don't know why I don't see your channel anymore. I have to go back and look. I guess Facebook took it off. If you don't watch them for a couple of weeks, they said you don't need that channel. But if y'all are moving with me, go ahead, move to the beat of your own drum. But if I don't do this, if I cut this camera off, I'll sit down and won't do any more of it. So, I wanted to get a little more movement in. How's Natalie and your kids? She's still high school? Did she graduate? Welcome everyone that's in. I got 4 people watching. 3. Welcome. I can't wait. I leave in about 2 weeks to go to Disney to see. Well, my daughter lives in Florida. I'm going. Hopefully, she's going to come. She hadn't decided if she's going to come meet me or not before I go on my cruise, because she said I told her not enough time to get the day off. And Clint's in school, and I said, "Yeah, I told you. You just didn't listen." Um, I said, "Oh well." I said, "I'll see you Christmas then, because we've already planned Christmas. We're gonna meet in Orlando at Christmas time, because I'm not going to her house again. She'll have to come meet me." Um, Take care, Norma. I'm gonna be getting off in a couple minutes anyway, so I can get ready for my neighbor when she gets back from taking her daughter to get her license today. March, 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 and do your feet, shake your body. Can you twist like we did last summer? Can you twist like we did last spring? Come on, twisting time is here. Round and around and around and around. If I not sing too much of it, I'm gonna get a copyright. Probably not even putting the words in the right order or the right word. So you could decorate your fence to look like a view instead. Yeah, right now it's just the fence, the wooden fence, and you have to wait 2 months before you can do anything to it. You have to let the wind, the rain, and everything get to it for 2 months, and then it's going to be painted to lock in, so it would last forever. I hope at least last another. The other fence was put in 82, 3, 4. probably 80, 83, 85, somewhere in there. And it was just a regular old gate fence, and the gate had rotted out, the post, iron fence or whatever you want to call it, chain link fence. Yeah. So in 2 months we're gonna paint it, and it's not that the barrel, like, it's just that I'm not used to having. I'm used to being able to walk out there, but Candy, I wanted something privacy from the neighbors. Nobody knows that story. You asked me privately, and I'll tell you a story about the neighbor. When I just don't want to deal with her anymore. We've gotten along for the last 8 months or so. I've spoken to her about 3 times, outside, and that's about it. She stopped me outside to tell me, "Did you know so and so died?" And one of my neighbors. I said, "No, when?" "Last month." And this was about a month ago. I said, "Nobody, tells anybody anything till it's too late." My husband's best friend died last November. It'll be a year this November. I just found out a couple of months ago that he died. So nobody tells, you know. So, but I'm gonna be able to go to his house when his friend who's got what inherited his stuff. He's gonna let me come in and look at pictures and get some for if there's any of my husband and him and his brother as kids, because they were buddies and pals from way back. So his James's friend who died, he was at his house here more than he was at his house. His daddy died and his mother raised him, and he thought my father-in-law was the best thing in the world. So and he considered my husband and his brother, who both of them dead. My husband and his, all three of them are in heaven together, climbing those trees in heaven. He came up here probably whenever the storm Opal, Hurricane Opal came through. About a year, maybe a little bit after that. Anyway, we had a tree next to the house cut down. It was dying. He came up here and was talking to the tree. He said, because when they moved here in '63, that was a small tree, and it was way, huge when it got cut down. And they would climb that tree and sit up there and just talk for hours. Kids don't do that these days. They're all in front of the computer. So he came up here. We called him the nosy neighbor, and they called me the nosy neighbor. I said, yeah, he was more nosier than I was. He had binoculars and a telescope. He would look. So I'm going to ask the friend if he's got any binoculars that he would give me, and I can use them if I go to Alaska. My husband had binoculars, but when our grandson was like 3, maybe 4, 3 or 4. Anyway, he gave them to. He said, "I'm gonna give these to Clint when we go see him." So he put them in the car and gave them to Clint, thinking, a 3-year-old, 3 or 4-year-old will have a blast with them. So I hope they still got them. They were good binoculars. So, all right, everybody. I've been on almost an hour. My body's tired. I got to change my shirt. You can't see it, but right in here is wet and food and my dog hair because I picked up my dog. And I figured she would be here probably coming back this way. She'll probably be home soon. And I'm hoping, we can get something to eat. If not, I'll pick up something at Costco. Yeah. So thank you for coming, everybody. And we'll see y'all on the next adventure with Roxanne and Candy. Got a new video that's coming out at 5 o'clock today. The part 1 of my house backyard makeover. Share it out and like it. Share me out.